So that is how source and target looks like, and you would be comparing the data based on the things like whatever you wanted to check for that particular table. Just seeing for Azure data factor interface. Just wait. Yes, I got it. I was sending that also. Hello, are you able to see it? Hello,
Sorry, Ayush.
are you able to see that interface like what I have sent now? That is
Yes, 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 sir.
Azure Data Factory interface.
Yeah.
So in the left side, you will be having that pipeline runs. So
Yes, pipeline runs.
you will run the
Pipeline.
you will run your job name like whatever whatever they have given to you for the data to flow from source to target. So
Okay.
that job you would be running using Putty tool. Putty
Okay.
tool is like it is with Unix command. If you run it, the
Hmm.
pipeline would trigger, and in the pipeline runs, so you can see this no activity runs are there, right? So the PL master DAP gen orchestration framework is the pipeline, and you can see like there are two activities. One is lookup activity and one is notebook activity was there. So that is
Okay.
we performed. So lookup activity, once it is succeeded, you will get the status has succeeded, and the other one it was showing in progress. So once that is also succeeded, it will get succeeded. If the pipeline fails, then the status would be like rejected or something like failed, sorry, failed it will show, and then you need
Okay.
to raise an error, so saying that this pipeline got failed with this particular job ID and the data is not getting loaded into the target. So this is how you you use it actually. The mainly data factory will use for this purpose in our project. Now you got the complete idea like what I have told from start to end for this project. I have told the framework. The framework image I didn't get. The framework image also I will send it. Uh,
Okay.
and the next, you understood like how the data will flow from source to
So
target
still target.
through Azure
Yes.
data pipeline. So
Hmm.
once you run the job ID in the putty interface, so the pipeline would get triggered and the data would flow from source to target. For checking whether the pipeline got succeeded or not, you will check in the interface now. What I have sent the interface screenshot, like it would be similar to that, and you will check there whether the activity triggered and it got succeeded or not, that pipeline. Once it gets succeeded, the data would be obviously coming into the target. So here, if it fails, then you will raise a bug, or else the pipeline got succeeded, then you will close the Azure Data Factory interface, and then you will directly go to your source and target validation. For getting the source data, you will connect to your Hadoop connection in DB Visualizer, and you will run the SQL query. That interface also I have sent. So in that interface, you will write the SQL queries, and you will get the output like for complete data check or count check or duplicate null check, like whatever the result you fetch, you will keep in Excel. And for target, you will open a Azure Databricks notebook. That interface also I have sent. So you will write the similar comments what you have written in what do you say this source, this DB visualizer. You will write that command, but there the schema name and the table name would be same mostly, and the schema name would get changed. So the schema name what is used for fetching the data in DB visualizer, that for Hadoop it would be different, and the schema what was used in the target, that would be different. So once that is done, you will get the output. Sorry, you will get the output for both source and target, which needs to be compared, and you will be comparing. So this is the project interface, like what we are keeping in our resume currently. And the project architecture, I will send you that snapshot also.
Okay.
So any doubts in these things?
Just I understood the how the data is moved from source to target. So
In
it is
any
a
project, it
project.
would be that only, like there would be like different tables that you need to
What are the
analyze.
different stages while using this Azure Databricks? Okay.
There won't be any different stages. The once that comes into the target, you will compare between
Okay.
source and target. You
Source and
won't
target.
you validation, you would do it in source and target. Even though the data
Okay.
flows between the different layers, so you no need to care that. Only you
Okay.
wanted a source and target validation. They might be having some
Okay.
staging tables for their convenience purpose, whether the data was coming correctly or not. There might be some staging table, but that you tell like in our project we haven't checked. There were some staging tables, but we haven't checked anything. Only we are checking
Okay.
directly between source and target all the validations. Any other doubts in that interface?
After the class, upload this video
I
in
will
Google
upload.
Drive. Sorry.
I will
Once
upload.
again.
I will upload. Yes.
Okay.
If anything is here, then you just let me know. So, but
Okay.
this is the one. This is how, like if they ask in detail, you need to explain.
Okay.
Mm.
In the team I was working, like our source is Hadoop and the target is Azure Data Lake,
Okay.
and we used to get the tape, and we have like every 45 days a release. And our team size, coming to the team size, there were like the three testers and the four developers and one lead in our team size.
Mm.
So every day, so every week we used to get a drop of tables. Sorry, every week we used to get a drop of tables that we need to test it. And
Mm.
there were every 45 days a release for the project.
Okay.
Currently you can say like there were some 9 releases for the project, and currently
Mm.
sixth release was going on, and we are in
Okay.
the 45 days release. Means like you would be having around the 3 sprints. So you can,
Okay.
sprint is for 2 weeks, right? So you can say like currently we are in first sprint or second sprint. You can explain the terminology in this way, like if they ask like how many team members were there in your project, or what how many developers are there and how many testers are there in your team. So you can
Okay.
say all this thing, and like how many days a release, and currently which sprint is going on for your project. They might ask like whether to know like whether you have like real time experience or not.
Okay. Okay.
So those are the things you need to tell initially, and you need to explain the project flow, like how I have explained,
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll explain this. Sorry, I will upload this video then, like after the recording has
Mm.
been completed.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anything else you need?
Mm.
Any doubts, Neha, in this?
Pres- Presently, no doubt, Surya.
Okay.
If I have anything, I will call. Okay,
Yeah.
na?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Surya.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.